First off, happy Thanksgiving. I hope everybody enjoyed their Thanksgiving yesterday with their family, their friends, and whoever they got to celebrate with, and really to share grace and be thankful for the things we have. This is a time of year where, especially in this game, things get really tough. Your challenges continue to grow. But it's awesome to be able to go through it with a family like ours. It's awesome to see how resilient our guys are. And obviously, as we move forward into our next opportunity, it will require us to be our very best. Now it's time to talk about that. I'm sure that's what everybody wants to talk about. But the most important thing is that our team gets rest. Our staff gets rest, and we get ourselves ready so that we can be our very best this week in our preparation, because we got a team coming up here in the next opportunity that is playing really, really well and is very capable in all three phases of being an explosive unit. Today we're excited about what we accomplished, but we all know as soon as we leave this facility, it's on to the next. That being said, we'll take questions.
Coach, you guys are 8-0 in conference play, 5-1 at home, and as you mentioned, you got the championship game this coming week. I mean, what does that say about this team, given where you guys were a couple months ago?
And that's what, again, not only this week and on Thanksgiving one day to be thankful, but it's just a reminder. And, to be thankful for all the things we have, even the things that aren't favorable, the things that aren't ideal. You go through a lot of different stuff for a reason. And in life, really, you have two options. You're either going to learn from it and grow from it and get stronger and allow it for you to grow forward, or you know what the other one is. And I'm just so grateful that we have the men and women in this program that have grown forward through everything. That, the good, the things not so good, and everywhere in between. And, we'll be able to draw from that stuff is, again, we prepare for our next opportunity and our next challenge.
So intentional with the development of Taylor Green. 4 touchdown passes, the 91-yard run. How good was he today?
Yeah, it's that run was big time. Obviously, it got real tight there. Prior to that run, and for him to be able to capitalize right there and pretty much put the game away, that was awesome. That was great for him. He was very efficient through the air today. They wanted to bring everybody to the line of scrimmage, and so it opened up things down the field, and we were able to take advantage of that. And obviously there will be things on there that, Coach Cutter and offensive staff will want to improve upon, that we'll have to improve upon for, our next opportunity. But, again, everything's done for a reason, and obviously we're not going to explain everything to you guys, but there's a reason for everything, and the most important thing within the reasons and the why is to take care of our family, and that's our main objective, and so that they can grow forward and get better, just like you were talking about. And not only TG, but there's a lot of other guys that have stepped up into new roles, and every opportunity they're getting on the field, they're getting better. They gain experience. Yeah, they might mess stuff up. There's stuff on this film that we're going to need to be better at next week. But you know what? We're proud of the guys, the way they go out there and compete, their eagerness to come back in here to learn. They show back up in here with an open heart and a willingness to learn and grow from what they did, the good, the bad, and the indifferent,
You guys have talked so much about how much of a leader JL is, and for him to go out of the game early, but stay locked in on the sideline, pumping everyone up. How cool was that to see, and how much does that just show the guy he is?
Well, obviously that's a tough position early on. The other team is really excited he was out of the game. I think that's the most cheering they did, is when he wasn't going to be able to play anymore. But, it was an unfortunate situation. You try to, hit the guy with his shoulder, and it's a bam-bam play on a fake punt. So, for him to be able to stay locked in and stay in it with his brothers, that speaks volumes. And, now he knows what it's like to be a coach on the sideline and have to coach and cheer and not be able to go out there and play.
We've talked about Eric McAllister a few times already, but I mean, 2 touchdowns today. It just seems like he's continuing to grow in this offense. What's kind of, how excited are you to have him for a few more years, and just what's it like watching this growth?
Yeah, I mean, it's been. And if you guys only saw the growth overall, him as a young man, there's a reason why he's doing what he's doing on the field now, and that's because his development as a young man, his maturity, him starting to figure out, how things work and how to be consistent, and it's awesome to see. That's what I'm most proud of. Every time he makes a play, I think about those things, and as we spoke about, he's an awesome weapon to have, when teams are going to load the box and work to take away the run game. And we just got to continue to build off of that. He knows that every single week it's got to be earned, and that's what I like the most about it. And I know our coaching staff is most proud is that, he's working really diligently each and every week to prepare to get better. And when we do those things, it obviously pays off on game day.
George went over 1,000 today. Given what he's gone through the last 2 years, how good do you feel for him to get that?
Yeah, it was awesome. We wanted to make sure that he got his work in today and, helped us achieve the goal. And it was good to see that happen. And he's been awesome all year. I mean, George has been incredible. And not just as a player, but again, as a leader and what he does for this program and this team.
But Scott finding the end zone for the second straight year.
Same play.
Yeah.
Same play.
That's great.
Which he deserves it, 100%. Just proud of him. He's so resilient. He's so resilient, and it's awesome to see him have that success. And it's an opportunity. I mean, just all together, I think that's our whole team gets so fired up when those guys go in there together to play offense, and the whole team's out there together. Like, you got defensive guys, you got offensive guys. And I'm telling you, it doesn't matter if it's in the game or it's in practice or it's a walkthrough. It's like one of my favorite things to see is just the excitement of the guys when that group is called up to go to work. So it's cool that we got that opportunity to call that pass play, and it hit today.
Going to hit. I mean, they didn't cover him up. And did you know it was going to hit when they lined it up?
Well, they'd been pretty aggressive in stopping the run, so the coach thought it was time to go to it, and they weren't covering him. I think there were some other guys open too, but Scotty's the #1 read. He deserves it first. So it was fun. It was cool to see. I'm glad TG was able to get him the ball, and not only for Scott, but obviously for the team in that moment. I mean, it was a big-time play in a moment in the game right there where we really needed it.
Going back to Taylor for a second, especially in the first half, it just seemed like he was so confident pushing the ball down the field. How important is that confidence for a quarterback?
I mean, it's huge. Again, each week, defenses are going to do different stuff. We can go in there and see. I mean, guys on defense are doing different things when they show up to play against our offense than maybe they've done in the weeks past. And so to be able to adjust and take what the defense has given us is huge, and to be able to capitalize again. If today there was a lot of guys, in the box, I think everybody saw that, and so we know what the move is, and to be able to capitalize and get those explosive plays, was huge for our team early on.
You mentioned kind of nice regular season, but obviously the goal's not accomplished yet. I mean, how big is next week? And obviously you've had a great year.
It's a championship game, bro.
Yeah.
It's what we've been working for since January, and so it's huge. Yeah, it's big. The guys know that. That's why when they walk out of the doors of the facility, it is about taking care of our bodies, our mind, our physical well-being, because we got to be our best. And BJ, we know we got a great team coming in here to play us, and we have to be our absolute best, in this week of preparation. And that's how important it is that we do the little things better than we've done all year, and that starts with taking care of ourselves.
You mentioned that's what everybody wants to talk about. I mean, was it easy? I mean, these are college kids. Was it easy to not have them looking ahead to next week?
But you know what the thing about that is, though? The crazy part about that is, and I'll be honest with you, I mean, they're college guys, but the things that we emphasize with them or ask them are like, we don't even give the opportunity for them to ask why. We just explain the why, and they get it. They know now. You know, there's certain things that we got to handle a certain way, and they know that, you know, all the things that we're trying to do, we're trying to position them to be as successful as possible. We're trying to work off them. They're trying to work off of us. And when we do that really well together and we take care of each other and we have each other's back, that's when we're at our best. And it's never easy, you know, to shut down the outside noise, lock in. But even anymore, that experience we got from this week, right, and being able to do that, it's going to be the same. It's going to be the same this week. At the end of the day, this week is all about us. It's all about us preparing, training to be our best. I mean, at the end of the day, nothing else matters.
Obviously, you were mentioning how big the championship game is. Coming into this, I mean, was there a thought of, you know, like pulling starters earlier? Is that counterproductive? Because
You want to say it?
Coach, you talk a lot about development of your players. How do you feel like in year two as a head coach that you've developed personally?
A ton. That's the thing I was most grateful for this Thanksgiving. I'll be 100% honest with you. I've been able to learn and grow through all the experiences. You know, the number one deal is how are the different ways that we can impact every day? And not just the players, but all the different departments in this building. That's my number one goal, you know, is how do we keep leading, growing, and helping people and giving people the opportunities, the space to grow, creating an environment where people can grow, creating an environment where, yeah, it's really challenging, the standards are high, and achieving those standards and maintaining those standards. But the number one deal is building the real confidence too. There's no fake positives. And so to be able to develop is about building a real confidence and holding a standard each and every day and doing that together. And, you know, there's a ton of different scenarios that, I'm going to be honest with you, it's been almost 2 years now. And, you know, the amount of things that I've already learned from this year, and I'll be honest with you, that I'm just biting on my tongue, just getting ready to implement and grow and be ready to move forward, you know, as we continue on here, because we've learned so much. And I'm really grateful for our student athletes, for our coaches, for our staff, because I've been able to learn so much from them, and I appreciate them always having our families back. And when the times are tough, they step up. They do what's right for the family, even when it's puts a little bit of sacrifice on them. And that's what I'm most grateful for. And again, you know, it's crazy how you can learn so much from 18 to 22-year-olds. Well, now with the COVID year, I mean, some of these seniors are 24, 25 years old, but man, I learn as much from them, and I love learning from them every single day.
You guys had University of Idaho stickers on your helmets today. Obviously, that's a community that's hurting. You have a message for the folks up in Moscow?
You know what? I mean, it's really tough, and that's why, like, you know, this, not just because it's Thanksgiving and those things, but, you know, the people that were involved in the losses of, you know, students, young adults, whether they're young adults or, you know, whatever age they may be, it's just, it's tragic, you know. You got young lives that are learning and growing, and we just feel for them. Our prayers and thoughts are with them. I know our team does, not only for the students that are involved, you know, at the University of Idaho, but obviously at Virginia. We have a staff member here that coached at Virginia, and it's, you know, it hasn't been easy. Again, we especially when it's that close to home, it hasn't been easy, you know, but our thoughts and prayers are with those people, and, you know, we pray the Lord will provide them the strength as they move forward and support each other, and as we can support them. And again, it just raises awareness for us to appreciate and, you know, to take care of each other.
BJ, for last question.
I know you're not going to say the injury, but it did look, obviously Tyreek Jones, the whole team came out there, you know, obviously feel for him on senior day for that to happen. know what's ahead for him, but how tough was that for him to have to leave?
Yeah, I mean, he checked it out. It was good. I mean, I'm going to say he's walking around. My daughters were just asking him if he was all right in the hallway, and he was smiling, telling them he's fine. So, thankfully, it was not anything that we believe will hold him out. Awesome. Appreciate you guys. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you guys as well. Have a great weekend.